Hello and welcome to Coming Soon with Marketing Mark. I'm Marketing Mark, you review the movies, but I review its merchandise. Now let's be honest, when we rent a movie, we usually skip through the previews and go straight to the movie.
If you say you don't do it, I know you're lying.
But what you probably didn't know is that the openings are more interesting than you think. Why do I say that? Well, let's look and see what happens in the openings. Now, to go past the obvious, before the movie, they usually play previews or commercials before it. In Britain, though, there were some VHSs that said that all these movies came from the Cinema Club. One VHS that did this was the VHS for Ghostbusters 1 and 2.
Welcome to Cinema Club, bringing you great movies at a great price. Here's just a taste of the wide selection to enjoy from Cinema Club.
When they play previews, sometimes they'll have signs before the preview saying they're coming soon to theaters or coming soon to video. The oddest one I found was on the UK VHS of The Terminator, where they warned that they were playing a trailer for RoboCop by saying, "Coming soon to your local video rental store." For anyone who's watching this that's British, do they really call video stores video rental stores? I mean, maybe they do, but it seems a little unbelievable. I mean, we all know that when we go to a video store, we rent a movie, so why not just say, "Coming soon to your local video store"? I mean, if they do, I take back what I said, but it just seems a little odd. Now, sometimes the previews they choose to play before the movie are odd choices. For example, on the VHS of Wayne's World, they played a trailer for Time Out, the truth about HIV, AIDS, and you. It's like they knew that nobody watched the trailers because if they actually thought people watched the trailers, they know that nobody wants to think about serious issues like HIV and AIDS before they watch Wayne's World. Another time the preview selection was kind of odd was the preview selections they chose for Pebble and the Penguin and Twister. The Twister one was odd because on the Twister VHS they played trailers for mostly kids movies, despite the fact that it's not a kids movie. I mean, it's not the only odd thing about its VHS. Now, I know it's not the only time they had trailers for kids movies before adult movies or teen movies, and I know the reason they do that is to get the parents interested in them, but only trailers for kids movies? You had no trailers for adult movies? That's a little ridiculous. Now, on the Pebble and the Penguin VHS, they had trailers for A Little Princess and Born to be Wild, which were from Warner Brothers, not MGM. Now, I know that Warner Brothers bought the rights to some of MGM's movies, and maybe this was part of a deal they made, but still, it comes off as odd to play a trailer for a movie from another company before your own movie. It's not the only time it's happened. Trailers for DreamWorks movies tend to play before Paramount or Universal movies, but still, it comes off as weird to play a trailer for a movie from a different company before your own movie. The only time it doesn't come off as odd is when they do it in movie theaters, but I'm pretty sure they have less control of what movie gets played before theirs. Now, sometimes when they try to hype up certain films, they'll play the trailer for it before their DVD, VHS, Blu-ray, etc., as well as a making-of special. One odd one I found was, again, on the Pebble and the Penguin VHS, they had a teaser trailer for All Dogs Go to Heaven 2. Now, not only is it odd to have a teaser trailer for a sequel to a Don Bluth movie that Don himself didn't direct, but it's also odd because in the trailer, they showed footage from the original movie and had no footage from the sequel.
All dogs go to heaven, but some dogs just won't stay there. Next spring, your favorite heavenly hound busts out of paradise.
Feels great to be back in the flesh.
Couldn't you bother to animate the damn thing before you released a teaser trailer for it? Speaking of Don Bluth, on the Rockadoodle VHS, they had a teaser trailer for Thumbelina, but not only did it come out 2 years later, but it ended up being distributed by Warner Brothers as opposed to MGM. Whoops. Also, I know I should have talked about this in my Warner Brothers animation merchandise video, but I forgot. Whoops. Now, I know this isn't the only time they change the release date later on, or title of the movie later on, but I don't like when they do that because not only is it confusing for the audience, but it doesn't make sense. If you're so happy with the movie that you feel you can promote it, then you shouldn't change anything. On the flip side, let's talk about a piece of Disney merchandising that I thought was actually pretty clever. Yes, I'm saying something positive about Disney advertising. 2012 is definitely true. Anyway, in the Mulan VHS, Tina, a movie surfer, talked about Tarzan, but then said if you want more info about the movie, you'll have to buy the Bugs Life VHS. Admittedly, this is kind of clever if you actually bother to watch the previews because by doing this, it'll pique people's interest and make them want to get the Bugs Life VHS so they can see even more info about the newest Disney movie. Is it manipulative? A little bit, but hey, they just want people to buy copies of Bugs Life VHS. Is that so wrong? Now, sometimes they'll play something after the movie, at least when it was on VHS, and to do this, they'll usually put up stay tuned bumpers saying it's going to happen. Now, most stay tuned bumpers are normal as they are just signs saying what's going to happen after the movie. However, on the Bartok the Magnificent VHS, yet another Don Bluth movie, they had Bartok say that after the movie there was going to be a sing-along, and to say that they hired the worst Hank Azaria impersonator ever.
Hi there, this is Bartok, and my new movie has some great tunes.
We're on our way, all right.
And you can sing along.
It's like they took inspiration from the SeaWorld commercial.
And coming this August to SeaWorld, home of Wild Arctic.
It's me, Bartok. You can see me and all my friends and experience the fun of Anastasia at Anastasia's Kingdom all August long.
After all, it worked the first time, so why not the second time around? Though, then again, Bartok's voice is already a failed impression at doing a Canadian, Russian, or Latino accent.
Anastasia, sir, just wishing I could do the job for you, sir. I'd give her a ha, then a hi-ya, and then a woo-ah.
So they're failing at doing an impression of a bad impression. How did the world not end in 1999? Though that's not the only things they play before the movie. Sometimes they'll play toy commercials, soundtrack commercials, even if the movie doesn't have its own music video, the music videos themselves, like I said before, or a product that's slightly related to the movie. One odd example of this was, on the Pulp Fiction VHS, they had a commercial for Pulp Fiction the novel.
What do two hitmen, one girlfriend, a boxer, and a secret suitcase have in common?
That's a good question.
The answer, the most entertaining book of the year.
Apparently, film novelizations have their own commercials. I don't remember ever that happening beforehand. Another example of this is, on the Jungle to Jungle VHS, they had a Rainforest Foundation commercial because rainforests are apparently like jungles, and on the Pebble and the Penguin VHS, again, they had a commercial for SeaWorld. Now, even though the person in the commercial is apparently a penguin expert, she did say something wrong about penguins.
Many elements of this enchanting tale are based on fact. Penguins really do choose mates for life. And they really do present their mates with specially selected pebbles as a sign of commitment.
Tell that to animation domination.
Adelie penguins do gather pebbles together to attract mates, but they don't gather a single pebble. They gather a whole bunch of pebbles to attract their mates when they build them a nest.
Also, I found something odd on the Incredibles video game commercial. Now, while the commercial is mostly okay, it says it's rated teen. Now, how can a family film, especially one that's produced by Disney, have a teen-rated video game? In fact, because of that, it's odd to have the Disney video game label and the teen rating on the same screen. However, if there's something that bugs me, it's when, before the movie, they show almost nothing but commercials related to the movie. For example, on the Last Action Hero VHS, they had a Kid Fitness commercial that had Arnie in it and references to Last Action Hero, a Last Action Hero soundtrack commercial, and a Last Action Hero video game commercial. An even worse example is some of the Power Rangers videos. For example, on the Wannabe Ranger, they had a commercial for Alpha's Magical Christmas, followed by a commercial for Power Rangers books, cassettes, and CDs, a karate club for the Power Rangers, and a fan club for the Power Rangers. Now, don't get me wrong, I don't mind one or two commercials for the product, even if that product doesn't really exist anymore, which I'm pretty sure most of those products probably don't. However, if there's just so much commercials at pretty much every commercial before the movie is a commercial for that product, it gets annoying because we get bombarded with that stuff, and as a result, it makes us not want to care about that product because you're overexposing it to us. Imagine how another person who actually watches what happens before the movie probably feels. Oh boy, I can't wait to watch Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2, but you know what? I'm kind of interested in seeing what's coming out. You know what I'll do? I'll watch the previews.
One simple idea.
Cool! This commercial has a Harry Potter clip in it. There's a Harry Potter video game coming out? I gotta get that!
Why do you live?
Oh, another Harry Potter commercial? Let's just see what the next trailer is.
I got a real treat for you today.
Another Harry Potter commercial? Really? Let's just hope the next thing is something else.
13 years after the first Harry Potter book was published, I'm still astonished and delighted by the response the stories met.
I'd skip ahead to the movie, but I'm kind of sick of Harry Potter right now. The only time this didn't bother me is when they had a Small Soldiers commercial promoting a multitude of Small Soldiers merchandise.
Absolutely nothing. What is it good for? Absolutely nothing. Say it again, y'all. What is it good for? Absolutely nothing.
Sure, it isn't a perfect idea because it comes off as over-promoting it too much, but at least it's better than going from Small Soldiers commercial to Small Soldiers commercial. Actually, now that I think about it, even when the reel is just commercials, it annoys me. I mean, don't get me wrong. I don't mind 1 or 2 commercials being on the reel, especially when it's something the studio promotes. But when it's just commercials, it just gets annoying after a while. For example, on the VHS of The Mask, they had a commercial for the Mask soundtrack, followed by a commercial for Pop Secret popcorn, and then a commercial for Space Ghost Coast to Coast. Studios, if I wanted to see a bunch of commercials before a movie, I'd go to a movie theater. Now, sometimes they play commercials for something the studio owns. For example, the VHS of Balto and Jurassic Park 3 had a commercial for Universal Studios. Another example is the DVD for Puss in Boots had a commercial for How to Train Your Dragon's Arena Spectacular. If a studio also owns TV stations, they might play trailers for those shows before the movie. Now, Disney didn't just do this for one Saturday morning, like Liam said beforehand, but sometimes they actually play trailers for TV shows before Touchstone movies for ABC shows. Just look at Armageddon.
Sundays at 10, 9 Central.
A man's life is on the line.
Every episode of The Practice is so good.
An odd one, though, is on the VHS of The Rookie. They said they were going to play a commercial for a TV show.
Coming soon to ABC.
Okay, maybe they did that after the movie, but if they did, they could have made that more clear. Now, in the past, I've made it seem like I don't really like it when they play commercials for random products in the VHS, but that's not really true. I'm rather mad on it, but still it is just done for money. I should probably hate it, but I can't find myself doing so. I don't know why. But they did play some commercials that were rather weird. In fact, like last time, let's do a nostalgia critic-esque look at some of these commercials, shall we? Oh god, I can't believe I did this again, but before we do this, I will only do it for commercials that are not going to be part of future topics. Anyway, let's do this.
30 years ago...
Now, Liam mentioned there was a camera commercial in the Lost in Space VHS in his Disney merchandise video, but is it me or does the end come off as creepy?
It's the most advanced digital camcorder you'll ever use. It's really out of this world.
Seriously, the way it's shot, the tone Buzz gives, and the way it abruptly cuts like that makes it creepy. This is a JVC camera. It gets pretty good quality. Buy it.